Hey, so I'm going to go through the best lead generation strategies for 2024. I'm going to show you how to generate hundreds of qualified B2B leads, regardless of the niche or location. And yeah, so basically, just as a definition of what a lead is in this case, it's potential customers that you can sell your product or service to. So I'm going to show you three different ways that you can generate leads, depending on your experience and budget. So the first one I'm going to go through is Clay, then Apollo, and ListKit. So let's jump into Clay. Now, Clay is probably the one that will be middle budget. You can build out lead lists with Clay, but you may need to use a separate provider to actually verify the email addresses. The simplest one to do it is probably ListKit, but it's the most expensive. And then Apollo requires probably like 2 steps. So I'm going to show you Clay to start off with. So here, this is just a dummy account, just kind of show you. So there are so many different things that we can start off with. They've actually already got like starter lists here for like, if they're targeting tech companies, for example. You can literally find businesses from anywhere. You could even do local business searching. I've got a separate video that kind of runs through how you can do that through, it connects with Google Maps. So you can search on Google Maps and then pull the information and data from there. But in this case, we're going to do it from LinkedIn. You can actually start with job posts. Job roles, but we're going to start with LinkedIn. You can also do it for e-com sites, so it integrates with store leads as well, and then you can also import your CSVs and things like that. So we're just going to start with LinkedIn. It's going to be a regular LinkedIn search. Now, the reason you might want to use this instead of using, say, for example, just LinkedIn and scraping LinkedIn is LinkedIn can be sometimes a little bit more tricky to scrape. And if you scrape it, you'll then have to put it into another software to then try and find the email addresses. So you might actually have to end up coming back into Clay to then find the email addresses, to then verify the email addresses. So that's one way that you could do it, but you'd have to use a scraper like Instant Data Scraper or something, and then export and then import and then export and import. Whereas here you could find them. This has an API to LinkedIn. I'm not sure in terms of how recent the data is, but I think it's updated pretty damn regularly. And if you were to do like an open job search, it would find jobs from literally like today, within the past hour. So it's pretty up to date in that sense. So you can do the search via LinkedIn. So we will go here. Now, the really cool thing is that they've introduced like lookalikes in description. So lookalikes is you could put in like a company that, I don't know, let's just say like Instantly, for example, and then you can find companies that look alike or similar to Instantly. You could put in description. So companies that are currently selling marketing services and focus on, PPC or something, right? Now, I haven't really played around with these two areas, so I'm not going to go through them because I'm not going to teach you or show you something that I don't necessarily use just yet. This is literally, I think, 2 or 3 days old. This is brand new, so again, haven't had a chance to play around with it. I'm going to show you the old way, or another way of doing it is to do with company filter. So we're going to build out a list of, let's say, marketing agencies, right? So we want to marketing services. That'll be our industry. And then we want to have like agency, PPC, SEO, video production, content creation. What other stuff could we have? Advertising. And then we have like, I don't really want branding. I don't really want web design. So we're going to remove things like web design, branding, also remove like software because I don't want it to be like software for marketing agencies, technology, platform as well, recruitment. We don't want it to be like recruiting for these companies. So recruiting, staffing, things like that. Media might be okay actually. News, publishing. Just removing anything that might be like somewhat around that. So we're going to just start off with something like that, for example. I'm going to look for ones in the United Kingdom. All right. And then we can actually, I'm just going to move my face. And then we can do city if we want to, but that'll be it. So and then we can also put in the number of employees. So I'm going to just do 2 to 10. 2 to 10 and self-employed. Actually, we don't want self-employed, just 2 to 10. Cool. We'll go preview companies. It's going to give it a second to load up. Cool. All right, it's loaded up. So we have here a list of marketing agencies that are between 2 to 10 employees that have been pulled from LinkedIn. So these are the companies. Excuse me. You can see the description here. You can see obviously the industry, the company size, all this stuff. You check out their LinkedIn profiles here. I'm just going to check out 3 just to make sure like they're actually the right ones. Hype Social, social media marketing agency. Yep. gaming agency, casino SEO, content creation, paid search, digital marketing agency. Yeah, so this is obviously exactly what we want. Now, you could 100% expand this out. So you can see here that I've just got agency, PPC, etc. But you could put like social media marketing. You could every kind of possible keyword you could stick that in terms of what they might have. This is just a brief kind of search just to show you. And then so now we have 1,368 companies to import. So we can click import, and we're not going to enrich any of this stuff just yet. Once we've got the companies, then we're going to find the people at those companies. So we head over to, and we can name it if we want to, but we're not going to do that for now. Go find people. And job titles, I leave this relatively open, and I just select all of these because we want to be talking to either the founders or like heads of marketing. And then we want them to be ideally in the United Kingdom. Sometimes with global teams, they could have like, they could have the company is registered in the UK, but the person recently updated and they're based in friggin' France or something, right? And you might not find them in that sense. So sometimes you want to keep it open, sometimes not, but I prefer to actually include it just because if I'm reaching out to someone, I want to make sure that the contact that I'm reaching out to is on the same time zone as my campaign. So I'm not reaching out to someone who's based in the US, but he falls under a UK company, and then reaching out to him at UK hours when he won't see the email, won't be like top of his inbox. So yeah, things like that. And you can exclude titles and stuff, but I'm just going to keep this relatively simple for now, just to show you like the sort of overview. And then we're just going to leave that for a second to run. Cool. So you can see here that we have a list of people. Now, the only thing I found a bit weird is the fact that there's 766 when there was 1,000 companies. So we've somehow lost half the people, but we could put more things in, like founder, for example, to include in the job title. You can play around with this as well, but again, for the purpose of this thing, so it's 253, which is less. So we could even like remove these, and we could just put like founder, CEO, owner, business owner, sales, marketing. Cool. So we can try that and see how that looks like. But then we also add, that's why I know why there's people being removed, because it's, yeah, so it's 502. Let's see if we just remove UK and try it like that instead. Okay, cool. Oh, that seems to be the same. I'm not sure why that's happening, but anyways, but you get the idea. So you can kind of like click on these to sort by seniority, and then we could try it just one more time and see what that looks like. It should technically be more, but okay, fair enough. Maybe there's less. But yeah, so just gives you a rough overview. Play around with it. But at least here we've got, yeah, these are co-founder, CEO, things like that. I mean, obviously these are the people that we want to be reaching out to anyways. So if you click on like their LinkedIn's, grow new revenue for DTC brands. Yep, cool. So she does, for example, co-founder of personal.agency. So she's basically building email marketing for agencies. Email marketing for e-com brands. That's what it seems like. Freelance marketing. So maybe someone like this might not actually be the best person. We don't want freelancers. So we'd have to figure out how to remove them from the list. But you can just see like just a couple bits of manual here and there can really help just to tidy up the list a bit. So you're not reaching out to people who are freelance or people who might not be a good fit for your offer. So yeah, founder at We Are 90, which is a sports marketing agency. So yeah, they do all sorts of different stuff like that. It's cool. Then we've got another person here, founder, and they are Growth Girls Agency Growth Strategy. Great, perfect. So yes, that's what she does. Right, cool. So these are exactly the kinds of people we want to actually be talking to. So I'm going to import these people, continue. So obviously, once we've got these people, then we've got to figure out how do we get their email addresses, because we don't have their email addresses. But these are all people that are currently running marketing agencies. So we have 433, and you saw how quick that took. I mean, obviously, we could have got more. I just selected slightly different filters. We could have had like 700 people pretty much immediately in this list, and it took like 3 minutes to get 700 people. So what we're going to do now is we're going to enrich the data. But you can see here we've got their full name, job title, location, the company domain, so we can visit like the websites and stuff and check that out. Agency, growing a brand online, another agency. This is all perfect. Like this is a very good list. Cool. This is literally perfect. And then we go enrich data, and then we're going to go personal. So we want to go on work email, and then we can do what's called a waterfall. So I would highly recommend doing a waterfall. So it means find the email addresses with Prospio, and if it doesn't find them with Prospio, then it'll move to a drop contact, and then to Tagma, and so on. This just means it has the most data coverage, right? Instead of just using one and finding like 80 out of 100 email addresses, you might find 80 out of 100 with one, but then with the other one, you might find another 5, and with the other one, you find another 7, and then all of a sudden you've got 92 email addresses instead of 80, if that makes sense. Cool. And then we're just going to go full name here, company domain, bam, and then we can also validate it, so we can link up debounce, and then we can go save and run first 10 rows. So I'm just going to show you as an example like this for the first 10 rows, and then this will run like this. God, this tool is honestly just so bloody good. It's just so good. And we can just name it. So this might be like Marketing Agencies UK, and then 2210, and that would just be like a naming convention or something. So you can see here, like it's found all of these email addresses, and then it's validated the email addresses here. So the step between finding the email and then putting it out here. So these are the final validated email addresses. These are safe to send, right? So we've got that, and then these ones that hasn't been able to find the email address here, then it will try here, and then it will try here, and then it'll try here. Just use the pre-selected thing within Clay, the pre-selected waterfall, just because that's what they've tested to find is the best sort of like workflow. So you can see here, didn't find it here, but it found it here at Tagma. And then you've got the validated email address here. Now, it doesn't always come out with the email here. This just happens to be the case that all the emails that we found here have also been also verified emails. But sometimes you could find the email and then not output the verified email here because it's not actually verified. So yeah, so that's one way that you can do it. This is with Clay, and then what you can do from here, you can export it, or if you have the pro account, you can actually push it straight to SmartLead or Instantly, and email people from here. It is, in my opinion, Clay is by far the best outbound tool, aside from obviously like the actual senders like Instantly and SmartLead. By far the best tool. It literally allows you to do anything you could possibly want. So yeah, so you can see here, that's the entire workflow, and we could just run this for the rest of the list. We'll probably get about 70 to 80%. So we might have like 350 or so leads at the end of this. And again, if I'd selected like the other filtering options, we could have literally had like 600 leads within like 5 minutes. So that's one thing. The next one is Apollo. I'm not going to give you a full overview because Apollo deserves its own video in terms of like a full overview. It's what I use most of the time as well, aside from Clay, which is brilliant. And it's the most cheap, cost-effective solution there is. It costs $49 for 10,000 leads that you can like basically have their email addresses for. And then once you verify those leads, you're looking at sort of 7,000 verified leads from that. So $49 for 7,000 verified leads is pretty damn good. I'm just going to show you like a really quick overview, but you can do very much of the same targeting and filtering. As you start to like use these different softwares, you'll start to realize that all of them have pretty much the same UI. So we might put in like founder, and then CEO, business owner. Oh, another one for UK that's actually good is managing director. So managing director, and then what else? Marketing manager, sales, head of sales, or something. So again, I might put business development, because if you're offering like lead generation services or something like that for marketing agencies. Cool. And then we want to put location. So we want to go account HQ, we want to put United Kingdom, so that the company is like based out of the UK. We can also double down and do contact, but then that will filter the list even more. Employees, we want to do, we can do a custom range, and we'll just do, because I always want to have so that they're not just one person, do like 2 to 11, right? So we'll do that. And then we want to industry and keywords. So we're just going to literally filter it by marketing and advertising. We can also do the exclude whole thing. We can go technology and platform, because we don't want any of this like software. Recruiting. Yeah, so we want all of this stuff removed. And then you can add in keywords if you really want to, but there's no need to necessarily do that. And then once you've done that, the other thing I would put is email status. So I always put it as verified or guest, just so we have the most coverage. If you want even more coverage and just get leads in, then you can go new data available as well, plus NA. NA means that they haven't found their email address. For a list where you have people that haven't found their email addresses, like using this, you can export it and then you can import it in Clay and then use the waterfall to then find more email addresses if you wanted to. That's another method that you could use. But for now, like this is how we might do it. And then you want to save your search. I'm just going to like just do this sort of quickly just to help you understand. But you can see here, net new. Let's click on net new. And then I'm just going to select, I'm going to select number of people. I'm just going to select like 100, apply selection, add them to a list. So adding them to a list basically means that the emails then, you see here, it says access email. If you were to export like this, it won't get the email. Whereas if you add to list, then it accesses the email and that uses a credit. You have 10,000 credits, right? But just because you access their email and that email is there doesn't mean it's a verified email, even though it says tick. You need to still put it through like a debounce or million verify and so on to verify the actual email properly. So just go add to list and just put marketing list. I'm just going to put it as a test. Save. Stick that in there. Cool. And then we go save lists. Then we go marketing list test. And then we click on select all people. We want to make sure that the table layout is for emails layout and not default layout. Yeah, just because we'll make this as, yeah, so we want to just make sure that emails layout, because then that means that the emails are actually here. If you have it the other way, the emails won't export. So we click select all people and then we go instant data scraper. I have a whole video on how to do this, but we go instant data scraper, click no net, locate next, click the next button and then start crawling. And then it will literally pull the data from here and the email addresses. And then you'll have your list of 100, initial 100 that we built out here. You'll have it here, and then you can either download it as a CSV, copy them all, etc. And then you would want to put them into a debounce or million verify, etc. Right? So that's how we would do that. So I'm just going to remove this. Cool. So that's how you do that. That's Apollo. And then the last one I want to run through is ListKit. So ListKit is a tool or software that I've only been using relatively recently. But it is pretty cool because what happens is it's triple verified leads. So it means that if you, I've actually finished my credits now, so I won't so it says 0 credits, but triple verified means you can build the list, export the list, and the list that's exported, you don't need to run it through any more verification. You don't need to run it through anything else. You can literally just use this straight in your Instantly or Smart Lead campaigns. Whereas the other ones you have to, in Clay, it's already validated within there because it's connected to debounce, but Apollo, you'd have to, after the export, you'd have to then verify it. Whereas this is fully verified and triple verified. And again, it's very similar filters, very similar types of things. So we want to go they have pre-selected filters, for example, predefined filters. I'll just refresh this because it's not. 1 second. Internet's a bit slow. All right, cool. So yeah, so filters, predefined filters, and then we can go, you got these kind of predefined filters, but I'm just going to go with this for now. And then you can see here, it's got all the keywords, SEO, TikTok, all this kind of stuff. And then I would also add in things to exclude as well. So we don't want software. Again, I always do this just because a lot of times you'll have the keywords in marketing agency software, right? And it's a software built for marketing agencies. We don't want to reach out to those people. We want to reach out to just the marketing agencies. So that's how I would do it. Technology, software, platform, just things like that, right? And you get the point. And then same with the job titles. So it's already predefined the list and built the filters out. And then we could obviously put max people at company. We want 5 max people at company. And you can also add new conditions. So, you can define where the people are going to be. You have 2 different types. So you have people and then company. And you can add new condition to company. And for example, here you could go exclude certain companies. You could add the region, the city, all this kind of stuff. And then you would literally click next step. And then you would type in the number of credits that you want to redeem, and it would literally download the list. And it will take a little bit of time just because it has to verify them. But here we've got a huge list. You would have to verify them. But once you verified them, then you can add them to the campaigns and use them like that. So I hope this video has been useful. This is literally a pretty good breakdown, in my opinion, of how to use lead generation strategies and how to use these different tools. I will obviously go in more in depth in separate videos on how to use these tools, but this is how you generate hundreds, if not thousands, of qualified B2B leads regardless of your niche, regardless of your location. This is how you do it, and they are all relatively cheap. There are even free ways of doing this as well, but they're all relatively cheap and simple to do. I would say ListKit is probably the most expensive. It's about $79 per 1,000. So if you want to get like 10,000, you're looking at like, what is it? $700. But then they have a deal once you buy it. Once you buy the first month, they have a deal. It's like $59 per month or something for an extra 1,000. So yeah, you could definitely get that, and that would be, I think, like $500-600 a month basically for 10K. So way more expensive, but takes a lot of the legwork out, and the leads are good. And yeah, I've signed client from doing that. So from using ListKit, so it's good. But yeah, that's how you do it. Those are 3 different sort of tiers, 3 different ways of doing it. There are a million and one different things that you could do to build lead lists, but this is just mainly, obviously, all for B2B stuff. Hope you found this video useful, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.